While we try to be as helpful as possible, this podcast should not be considered as professional or financial advice. It contains general information only, and you should seek out professional advice for your own personal circumstances before making any financial decisions.
Welcome back, guys. I'm Julia.
And I'm Nick.
I'm Celine.
And I'm Tom.
And this is the Enthusiast Lab. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of The Enthusiast Lab. Today we have special guests Tom and Celine, and they are here to talk to us about their entire build journey. So let us start with who you are.
Who the fuck are you?
You say this every time.
I
My
do.
God.
I do. It's the way I introduce
It's
them.
the script now.
Yes, it's the script. Go for it, Sonny.
I'm Cecil.
I'm Cecil.
I'm Cecil. I don't really know. I hate when
Okay.
those
That's okay.
like
Age. Hold on. Let's get this a little bit closer.
So,
is it too quiet?
Yeah, a little bit. Just get
Love on the
just
mic.
get a little bit.
Is
Go.
this better?
Yeah, it's actually a lot better. Love.
Welcome to the Enthusiast Lab. My name is Celine, and welcome to today's episode.
This is very ASMR. So,
ASMR.
age, are you guys first or second home buyers? And what kind of job are you guys in?
Let's do
I
that.
am.
You don't have to say ages if you don't want to. I don't think we've ever
I'm
asked
not going to
age.
tell you my age.
Ooh.
Everyone's gonna have to fucking guess.
Yeah, guess.
Were you guys first or second home buyers?
First home buyers.
Yeah.
Tom, you do have a mouth. You can talk too.
I'll just let her into.
Yeah,
On the car ride. On the car ride, we're
No.
talking about things, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you're going to do all the talking," but I'm the socially awkward one, and Tom's the one that usually talks. I was
Literally.
like, "It's fine. I'll make it work."
I'll make this work. Should be right.
And what kind of jobs are you guys in at the moment?
I am a receptionist at an accounting firm.
I'm a mechanical fitter at Alcoa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sweet.
awesome.
Gangster.
And you guys have actually finished building, so you guys have already handed over.
They were our first client with
They were
Levita.
our first client with Levita, and you guys built in Ravenswood, and you guys built the Lasker design, which I don't know what it's been renamed to.
I
Loading
think it's
screen.
similar. I think it's similar to. Wasn't it similar to the Pocket Rocket?
Mm,
Anyways, you
yeah.
have a custom design called
Yeah.
the Lasker. That was what it was called back then. Fuck, we have renamed it, but I can't keep up with the names.
No, I couldn't keep up with the names.
Plus with Adelaide and shit as
Yeah.
well. Anyways.
So you guys, the Lasker design in Ravenswood,
Yes.
and you signed up with Mr Enthusiast on the 21st of December 2021. And I think we'll go through your build journey, and then we'll start having a deep dive into the overall journey, your highs, your lows, and everything in between. So, but for all the listeners, we'll give them somewhere to start off with where your progress was, and then we'll deep dive in.
Yep.
So you signed up in December of 2021. You had your formal approval in January.
No, that's not right. They signed maybe building contracts in December, but they
maybe.
signed up in October.
They did.
It was like
I wonder if I've
end
mistyped
October,
that.
early September, early November.
I think it was early November.
Yeah.
Formal was in late January 2022.
Yes.
Settlement in February.
Yes.
Then we had slab down in April.
Yes.
Bricks were completed in June.
Yep.
And then we had roof cover in September and handover, which was in March 2022. Three. Sorry.
23.
And we are recording this episode in August, but it is being released later down the track in the year. But for everyone listening, so 11 months in construction, and let's jump into your experience. So did you guys always want to build, or did you guys look at buying established first?
At first, we looked at buying established because we didn't know what we wanted to do as such. So we wanted to buy like something that we could do up as we go, buy it fairly cheap and
just work on it as you go, but still have something to fucking live in type of thing. So you can avoid
essentially.
renting and shit.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So with the rent prices going up each fucking month, it was like,
It's getting a bit wild, eh?
yeah, we didn't really want to pay what we'll pay for a mortgage in a rental when you can't do shit to it.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's you're
So-
pissing the way as well to someone else's
And
money.
you guys were renting before you decided to get your own home, or were you living at mum and dad's?
We were living with my sister, so renting a room
Yep.
as such. And then, we obviously got in contact with Nick and then decided to progress on that journey.
Yeah.
And go to build.
So,
How long were you guys looking at established? Do you know? Do you remember?
I actually have a different take on this.
Oh,
It
I love this.
wasn't exactly like that.
Ooh, controversial take.
Tom was
What
like,
Tom,
fucking
what
all
Tom
right.
won't tell you is that
Yes.
I pressured him into looking at renting, building, whatever, because
Yep.
it's what I wanted. And I
Yeah,
didn't care
okay.
about what he wanted. It's what I wanted, and I get what I want.
Damn straight you do.
So probably the start of 2021, since at the end of the year we reached out to you, I basically was like, I need to get out of this one bedroom that we live in, that my whole life is in, because I had lived alone before moving in with Tom at his sister's.
Right.
So I knew what it felt like to have a whole house
Your own
to yourself.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I need a lot of space. For a little
Yes.
person, I need a lot of space. So I basically was like, this is what I want, and it's major. Like at the time, it felt like the biggest deal ever. I need to get out of this one bedroom. We need to do something.
Yep.
And basically, long story short, Tom had spent all of our savings on furniture for this rental that we never got.
Right.
And it was just like every time we were like, oh, this is actually a really good house. This is a great design, or this is a good rental or whatever. It just wasn't meant to be. And that's exactly what it was. It was not meant to be, because we were meant to come to you guys and we were meant to sign up with you guys. But it took Tom using all of that money on this furniture, filling up the theatre at his sister's house with furniture. And we were like, we're not getting anywhere. We have to sell the furniture.
Yeah.
And then there was just one night where I was like, do you even want to do this? And he was like, no, but you want to. So that's why I'm doing it. And
You're such a
What
good
a
partner.
fucking lad.
10 out of 10.
I know.
What
I
a-
was like, oh my God, my heart.
Yes.
But all I could think about was I had made him do all of that.
Yeah.
And that was so wrong. And
Yeah.
it is so wrong. And I was like gutted when I realized what I had done.
Yep.
I'm making it seem probably bigger than what it was, but it is a big deal. Like you can't pressure someone to be ready when they're not.
Yep.
And that's how I made him feel.
Yeah.
So I remember I just felt so terrible. We sold all the furniture that we could. We didn't make half the money back. It was fine. But I was basically like, I'm not going to bring up renting. I'm not going to bring up building.
Yeah.
That's it
Yeah.
until you're ready and you can come to me and we'll go from there.
we'll go from there. Dead set.
Yeah. It was just because you think about it, if it was the other way around and Tom's like, we need to
Yeah.
move out and all of this stuff, it's like a big deal and everyone's going to freak out and be like, oh my God, Tom, leave her alone. But
100%.
no one ever said anything to me. No one ever said,
Yeah.
Celine, you're pressuring him. Like no one ever said anything because it was fine. It's all
Yeah.
good. It's just Celine pressuring Tom. It's fine.
Yeah.
So we didn't speak about it for a really long time. And then slowly Tom started being like, oh, do you like this house? Have you seen this house? I'm like, oh my God, is it time? I've been waiting. But yeah, he was like, I think I'm ready. So we started looking again. We found we did find other designs. Like we looked at display homes and things like that. I fell in love with this Summit home, but it didn't tick all the boxes. And the biggest thing was, because I felt so guilty about pressuring Tom, I was like, he needs to get what he wants.
Yes.
No compromise.
Yep.
So every house that we looked at was like, yeah, a great house, but it didn't tick all of the boxes for both of us. And Tom wanted that bigger garage, and that's
Yes.
what he deserved. So that's what we needed to find.
Yeah.
I don't know how he stumbled across your page, but it was like, this is great. Everything about this page is
Yeah.
great. And yeah, long story short, we ended up with you and saw the iced coffee, and it was a done deal from there.
It was a match made in heaven.
it was a match
these
made
guys,
in
These guys
heaven.
rocked up with a Macca's iced coffee, both of them, and literally we clicked like fucking
Yeah.
no tomorrow.
Yep.
Tom, how did you find us?
Yeah.
Well, on Instagram, I've got a car page, and then I've seen my mate's Brownie built through you guys.
Oh yes.
Yep,
And
yep,
then
yep.
Obviously, Brownie's house got finished, and then
Yep.
I seen, oh fuck, that's a 6-car with a hoist. Like that's
Yeah.
fucking sick.
Yes.
But unfortunately, our budget didn't
Didn't work
permit
for
us
that.
to do that, which is fine because obviously we got the second house coming eventually.
100%.
But yeah, I seen it through Brownie, and then a few other mates started building for you guys and all that, and it's like, oh fuck, all right, we'll check these guys out.
Yeah.
So as Celine said, we went to a few display homes, got a few
Little
plans
spit
and
yarns.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Everyone's all trying to pressure us into going with these guys, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
we don't want that. We're
Nah.
not ticking our boxes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first meeting with you guys, you
Yep.
gave us all these plans, and you could tell that we weren't really like keen on some of the plans.
Yep,
and then
that's it.
you showed us the Levita plan, which
Yep.
was when you were still up
In
and down
between,
signing
yes.
with them.
Yep. Yep.
And then we see that plan, and it was like, fuck, that's
That's
pretty
fucking
much
gangster.
Ticked all the
perfect.
boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I was really big on getting the alfresco and the
On the
garage
on the
side.
garage side, yes. Yes.
So when he showed us that plan, I was like, fuck,
we're on.
we're
We're
Yeah.
fucking
send
we're
it.
on. Yeah, fucking send
So-
it.
Easily pleased.
But yeah, and did a few changes, and then yeah, here we are.
Good to go,
That's
yeah.
it. That's it.
And I love asking this question because everyone comes back with a different response. When you guys, by this stage, you had met a couple of sales consultants from different building companies, and you've booked in and you've come in to see Nick. What was your first impression of Nick?
So
Sick cup.
quack,
Fuck oath.
quack, quack.
Sick,
I'm not
sick
saying
quack,
it, but
sick
quack.
quack.
It was the iced coffee, and you were just so relatable and made us feel so comfortable, and you were real. That was like
Yeah.
the biggest thing. There was no bullshit. It was, this is how it is, and you might not like what I have to say, but you're going to fucking listen.
Yeah.
And that was great.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were sort of like, oh, we didn't, like, we weren't satisfied, but it wasn't because of you. It was because we had these like ambitious plans and we wanted what we wanted, and we had to compromise. And that was probably the biggest thing of our journey, was compromise, because
Yes.
we did that a lot, you know, during our build. And the realness was really what was like, I don't care if we don't like that house specifically, but we're going to like something, and
Yep.
it's going to be with you, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
question about it.
That's awesome to hear,
And
eh?
Tom and Celine were the first clients that signed up with Levita.
Yeah.
And this is when we had just gotten our office, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you guys were doing the meeting in the front, like landing room,
Yeah.
instead of in the proper like meeting area.
Yep.
Because we were still renovating
And
the shit.
and reeking of fucking paint and shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone walked out of the office high.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. And when you guys were looking at the other builders, you said that some of the plans didn't work. How was the vibe with the other sales consultants? Were
Yeah.
they very salesy, or were they down to earth? Like, what was the selling point for Nick, I suppose?
Well, I think she said it was more the whole down to earth, but I actually want to dig more about when you went on the display villages and you spoke to other builders with those consultants. What were the conversations like? Were they a lot of, you know, people get so many different mixed messages, right? Some of them they're going in and like fucking shoving their opinion down your throat. And then other ones will just fucking ignore you unless you got a decent amount of cash. And like they'll judge you real quick. What did you experience when you were out in that as first home buyers and not knowing?
Well, at the time we were only 21, 20.
You would have been 20.
Yeah, so we were pretty much fresh.
Young.
And
Fresh blood.
Babies.
Babies.
They just
Little
didn't
babies.
look at us being, I was a third year apprentice, and Celine was at her red dot job,
Yes.
and they just weren't interested. It's like, oh, you earned fuck all. It's like,
Yeah.
well, fuck you then.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah, they were very car sales like, just trying to get down your throat, go this, do that, and
Yep.
then you're fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, like Celine said, you guys were real, you were straightforward, to the
Yeah.
point, and yeah, it's just what we wanted to hear.
It's almost like a chalk and cheese comparison when you start looking at someone that's really pushing and the other one's like, bro, this is just what it is. If you like it, cool. If not, there's a fucking door. Like, it's all like, I absolutely fucking care about every single one of my clients, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and beg you for the business.
Yeah.
Whereas half the time you might almost see some of that desperation in a lot of the like consultants that you might have experienced, because that's when they're really trying to shove their opinion or try and get you for that next meeting. You know, let's go and catch up. We've got some land. Let's go and try and secure it. And then like you've got managers like, bro, fucking this is what it is, man. Like, oh, I want this, bro. You've got a champagne taste and a beer budget. Like, get the fuck. Let's be fucking real. This is how it's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like a very, very stark contrast between the two.
What were some of the fears that you guys had coming in? Because you were signing up just as the building boom was like
simmering down a little bit.
not simmering down. I was going to say like at its peak where all the media started coming out about delays on site, price increases.
Yeah.
Like you guys were looking at like one of probably the scariest time in the industry for new clients. What were some of the fears that you guys had, and did we answer them or combat them?
I think that even though it was like a scary time to build, it was like a now or never sort of situation. Like had we waited a couple months later, it would be completely different, like a completely different journey. I think there was definitely fears of delays. We were pretty lucky, I think, having only minimal delays, like roof sheeting. And
it was, and like Chippy, I think we had to wait a little bit, but like everything else just kept ticking along, and you got it done in under 12 months, the actual construction, when people are still, you know, around the corner from where you are, are still building now, and you guys have been moved in since March. Like, fuck me.
It's gone so quick.
It's wild.
5 months. Oh my God.
So finance-wise, when we did it all, what bank did we end up starting off with? Do you remember?
Well, yeah, my next question was to start. Let's have a look at the overall journey now and talk about the key highlights, highs and lows. So let's go through or hear from your point of view now, the highs and the lows and the key points that you guys remember from sign up, admin process,
the whole shebang,
construction process. Give us your story.
Do you want to take this one?
Cecil was like, I'm just going to handball that one.
Tag team. Just
there's nothing off the cards, bro. Like, this is what it's all about. It's like we want to hear it all. You're in your house, man. I don't give a fuck. I've already done my job, man. I'm done.
No, it was overall with you guys, it was really good.
Yep.
I do think towards the end there was a bit of communication issues. With swapping supervisors three times, I think. So one supervisor would organise all the stuff for us, and then this new supervisor would come and it's like, oh, well, we got to organise this.
Yep.
And then it's like, you haven't got a handover as such.
Yes. Yeah.
So we were like communicating and then not getting a reply, and then they'd reply a week later, and it's like, well,
it was getting a bit hard.
with
a bit of communication. Yep.
But overall, it was really good.
Yep.
Obviously, we had our time delays with building suppliers.
We had shit stolen.
Yeah.
That was fucked.
Our front door. If you're watching this and you stole my front door, I'm coming for you.
Fucking oath, man. That was fucked.
But yeah, we had. It was just
that in your
Christmas.
kitchen, and your kitchen hot plate or some shit was stolen.
They took everything. They took
range hood,
toilets,
stovetop toilets, shower heads, towel rails,
wild,
everything. So
which obviously caused some delays to get the shit back, but at the end of the day, we still got it done. Which even with delays and shit stolen, was, you know, at least from the builder's side, from Levita, they were able to smash it still in 12 months with everything, which is can't go wrong on that side.
And I do just want to mention here with the site supervisors, and I'm not at all like decreasing how they felt. It was because Levita was expanding so much.
Yeah, they were doing quite a bit.
Happening was they always try and make sure that their supervisors aren't overworked. So when we started coming in and selling a lot, they needed to.
They were hiring a lot of supervisors as the jobs were progressing and more going on site. And obviously, as you guys saw, it was you guys in the middle, and then we sold the entire street, and now all the streets around, and now there's literally all the jobs in, like where you guys are in Ravo now, that's literally all of our clients. So they literally went to Ravenswood and shit just because of the volume that we did. But what happened is they end up going, cool, we have someone to take care of it, and then more started, and they're like, shit, we're taking on more supervisors, and then all of a sudden they'll do the switch, but then there's always going to be that delay where the handover from one supervisor to another, and shit can get missed, and that's where from your end, I can see where that will be like, what the fuck, man? Like,
and it
we've got another guy.
Could have been communicated, maybe a little, heads up.
A little bit more clearer
guys.
or something, 100%. And that's what we need, this feedback. And it's good even on podcasts, like for everyone to know, so then they can, that you do have a voice, and to be confident enough to be able to reach out and go, hey, this could have actually worked moving forward. And then they can take that constructive criticism and actually implement it into the business. That's golden.
And it's actually something, because we had this discussion with you guys way back when you got the keys, and you guys mentioned this to us, and we're like, oh, okay, this isn't something that we really consider. Like, no one else has mentioned that to us in the past.
Yeah.
And we did bring that to Levita
100%.
and they took it on the chin really, really well. And they sat there and go, oh my God, we didn't consider this. And since then they have implemented a lot more communication points when they're switching over
and sending emails to those affected clients now going, because it's so hard because you're trying to move and do everything. And now they're actually going, hey, this is what's happening. This is the reasons why. Everything should be there. Just give a couple of days until they get used to it, but at least everything should continue moving forward.
That's so good.
You guys actually made a huge
100%.
impact in
Yeah, we
the
did.
implementation.
Look at
It's
fucking-
like, yeah.
Fucking Celine just sitting there going, fucking this was all me, bitch.
Even though I sent the email. She didn't have to.
No, I
She
write the
fuck all.
emails, he sends it because I
100%.
don't want to get in trouble.
No,
So the feedback you guys gave us, and for any clients listening who are still in the construction phase or in the administration phase, when we asked you guys for feedback on our side and for the builder side, what could we have done better? This is the kind of feedback we're looking for, so that
100%.
we can make these implements,
Absolutely.
implement these changes, because it then helps the future clients moving along.
Because if you don't get the feedback, you don't know what
it's
you
an
don't
issue.
know, and you don't know the issues, so you can't fix it. The sooner we can find those, there's nitpicking, and then there's actual proper criticism, which is what happened with you guys,
criticism.
rather than it being you took a couple extra weeks here when, do you know what I mean? Like that's sometimes is nitpicking versus, hey, there was an overall of this and this, and then we can send it through, and now it's been implemented, and now everyone else can experience that bit of a difference to make sure their journeys are that little bit easier, which is awesome.
Sorry, Tom.
Fucking awesome.
Carry on.
Sorry, Tom. Yeah,
We're on a
keep
bit of a
going.
squirrel journey there.
Squirrel.
Where are we up to?
Your
Changes.
changes your
Communication.
Highs and lows.
Highs and lows.
Yes,
yeah.
highs and lows.
Weirdly enough, the build journey was more exciting than moving in,
Okay.
which is
Actual?
really strange. I don't know why, but the building journey was so exciting and seeing it all come together. And I think I already felt like this is my home before I moved
Yeah,
in. So when we moved in, it was like, oh, this is great. But it already felt like this is already my
there.
home.
Or the penny dropped
Yes.
and you finally realised you had a mortgage and like, fuck
Yeah.
this. I'll just keep on building, but I don't want it.
Yeah.
I'm happy just paying the interest. Don't give me the fucking principal. Just give me the small bit.
Yeah, I think when you build, or maybe the penny doesn't drop for a little while, you don't realise that this is your home until you really move in and settle down. And by the time you kind of realise,
It
like,
just randomly happens,
Yeah.
and like when that penny drops, you just like, like you look at each other and be like, fuck,
this
this
is
Yeah.
my home.
this is ours.
Yeah.
It's just and it's an awesome feeling. At the end of the day, like, how old are you? Oh yeah, I'm not allowed to ask how old she is. How old are you?
I'm 22 and she's 6 months older.
Oh,
Hey, she just fucked. So if anyone was
You're on
trying
the
to guess
doghouse,
it,
mate.
catch you later. No,
have
sweet.
you guys drilled the first hole into your wall?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it was
fucking
great.
terrifying.
Fucking no,
'Cause like-
I still refuse to do it in my own house, man. After 7 years.
You don't know where all your gas lines
Nah.
and electric lines and all that shit. So
Yeah.
you're trying to look back at old pictures with the pictures you guys give us.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, where's that wire? It's going off to the fucking left. And
Yes.
then they don't do it straight. So it's like,
It's
fuck.
hard, yeah. Sometimes they're pretty straight, sometimes they're a little bit angled, so you're like, oh shit. So normally, wherever you see a PowerPoint, right, and then you just try and go in the middle and then veer off a little bit to the left and right, like another 10 centimeters on each end, and then follow that, avoid that.
Yep.
And then everything else should be right. There are like...
There are detectors.
Yeah, there are detectors for electrical, and you can just fucking pin it to the wall and you go beep beep, and then fucking just stay the fuck away from there.
Yeah.
That was like perfectly in sync.
I didn't even see you go.
I saw you, but I was.
Well, yeah. I'll just shut my fucking mouth. Then. Jesus.
Any other highs for you? I am going to remind you, for me, your formal
Your
was a high.
Full approval. And the lows, and we'll go over the lows as well. Some of the lows.
You can talk about the formal.
We
I was a little bitch.
No,
And I cried.
No.
happy
It was
tears.
it was honestly it really hit home. Like to see that genuine emotion come out. Like you guys didn't go through like the most easiest process when we first started. I'm just gonna go fucking and just go through, and then you guys.
Nick's
top
going to
in.
tell your
You know
story.
what? Okay, guys, story time. So basically, when we did start it off, we didn't actually originally go to Ravenswood. We were actually going into Whitby. We wanted to be a bit more closer into that south region, and we found a killer block with the same plan. It was just literally the block, and we went through it all. We went to the finances, and we actually had valuation issues back then. And it was quite gut-wrenching. It was a killer block, but the difference was just too much. And we were trying to find a plan of attack between me and the broker with Steve, working what other options can we do, because we have a maximum limit because we were going with Key Start. So we had the low deposit and all that scenario going. We can't just go to any bank. If we had more deposit, we could have potentially worked it through, but we just couldn't get it to work in Whitby because the valuations, it's using comparable sales, and during that time no one was really selling, everyone's still trying to build, so there wasn't enough comparables in that area, so it wasn't working. So we're like, fuck. So we ended up finding a solution, and then I basically called you guys up and I said, basically, get the fuck over here to the office. It was about 7 o'clock at night. And I had a plan B, and basically we sat down, and it was a hard discussion, but you hear it from me first going, look, this is fucked. This is why. But, you know, if we look at these other options, and you have a bigger block going to Ravenswood, because you guys were potentially considering it, but if we didn't have to go there, we wouldn't. And we sat and we went, look, this is actually going to kind of work out better for you. We've got the bigger garage. You're going to have a shit ton more block, because you guys have a 594 square block. Yeah. Gangster size block.
Fucking
big
memory.
boy.
Memory on you. My God.
I sold the entire fucking estate, basically. I know what blocks everyone's on. So we knew the block was going to be so much more bigger, more yard, more benefits. The price was like fucking phenomenally cheaper as well.
Cheaper.
Yeah, man, like 20, 30 grand cheaper, which then made it a bit easier on deposits, which meant that we could spend more on the upgrades on the home and get more of, you know, we hit all the needs, but then we started hitting more of the wants because we had more of the budget left over, and got it all done with fucking $5,000. And we went, this will be our best option. And you guys thought about it, you're like, you know what, fuck it, like we've gone so far, let's just do it. Let's, you know, and you guys went, I'm pretty sure the next day, went to the block and you're like, yep, cool, we fucking love it. Let's just fucking go for it. And then obviously we went through it all, went straight to the bank, got it adjusted, got Levada fucking within 24 hours, changed the contract, sent it to you guys for the variation for the new block, and then went straight back to the bank. And then what happened? Well, that's when we're up to the finance.
We got
Celine's like, yep, where are we up to?
Okay,
Yep.
so where we
Good
going?
story.
we got the
It's not my
full
story, it's a
approval,
story.
I think.
Sorry?
Was that the full approval?
That's when it was
Formal
formal.
approval,
So
yeah.
so Celine was at work, and I called. So I got the phone call from our broker Steve, going, we fucking did it. We got it. And I was like, bro, the fucking weight of my shoulders, like so. I was like, fuck, we did it. Called you up. I'm like, bro, we fucking did it, man. And he's like, fuck. He's like, I'm just about to pick up Celine. He's like, I'll break her the news. He's like, bro, fucking record it for me, man. Like, he's like, she's gonna fucking break down in tears. And he's like, is it done? I'm like, yeah, man, we fucking
It's
did
done.
it.
Yeah.
We fucking did it, man. So, and then what happened?
I told Celine when she got in the car, because I picked her up from work, and then she started crying.
Yeah, she
I
She
was
didn't
like, is this
disbelief.
real? Is this serious?
Fuck off. Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was a really high moment in our whole journey after getting fucked around with Whitby. And
Yes. And the block
Just-
and
And the other one, the Karna?
Can't up, yeah.
Can't Up,
Yeah, because we were looking there and we're like, well, fuck it, there's no point going there versus the other place.
Yeah.
And we jumped there.
That was
Yeah,
like our
100%.
plan B,
Yep.
which even when we were like, we could risk it, but then that's another month of valuation or whatever.
Yes.
It's like just too risky. And
Yeah.
then even when we went there, I guess it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because we were so gutted about Whitby, but it just didn't feel the
Because it
way
was a
that
smaller
Ravens
block.
would.
Yeah, because it was a smaller block in that Carnup area, in that Singleton, versus where it was, where we were originally in Whitby. And then I was like, look, option C, I know it's not what you guys optimally wanted, but we know we can get it all sorted. And here you go, here's a fucking just shy of 600 squares. And then you guys, sussed them all out, and you just went, bro, fucking, this is it. Let's just pull the trigger and send it.
Are you guys still happy that you built in Ravenswood?
Yeah.
Are there any regrets?
No.
No?
No regrets. No regrets.
No,
I think
no regrets.
I'm glad we went Ravenswood
Yeah.
throughout the whole process. Should have
Yeah.
just went there first, and we would have been in a couple months
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
It's a learning
It
curve.
wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, like you guys have said it from the beginning with the first initial stages, it wasn't meant to be. Same as what happened with Whitby and what happened there. And when it did line up, it fucking lined up and just went.
yeah.
You guys are like smack bang in between, like on the Mr Enthusiast hub street. You guys are like right in the middle, and then two houses
Well,
up
that
to the
started
left
it.
are Mr
So-
Enthusiast, and then the other two are Mr Enthusiast. Like,
And
you guys
across the
like,
road. Yeah.
wish.
So we literally, they were the very first that we started
We're the
there.
OGs.
You were the OGs. And then literally block by block, I just started selling them next to each other, next to you guys, all the way up. And then we went across the street, started selling all of those that we could. And then we started around the corner, and that we've basically done the whole. So there's no more blocks left there. Yeah.
So you guys are
which is
very
great.
much like in the hub of like-minded
We basically
people.
centered everyone else around you guys.
Yeah.
Literally around
love
that
it.
estate. Oh, it's fucking great. Like, and you guys know half, like some of the clients that are building, like fucking
Yeah.
mates with them. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Hashtag
sick.
trendsetter.
Yeah, how good. But it's awesome. Like, you get to know your neighbors. You're in similar demographic with everyone else. Half of the guys are all into fucking cars and motorbikes and fucking all sorts of shit. So
Hobbies and all that, yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So like, you've got similar interests. You've got similar demographic. You've got all of that. So you're not. You do what I mean? It just works with what it is. It may not be your forever area, but for the next 5-10 years, like what our initial plan was for you guys to get into something that you can grow into and then go for the next one. I think this was fucking bang
Yeah,
on.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely a moneymaker.
Yeah.
Fucking oath. Fuck oath. So what happened? So obviously you guys ended up going and then go through the build. Was there any other highs or lows that, that really stick out that you remember?
I think the lows were the interest rate rises.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That was getting hard, especially with
Yeah.
KSA, because obviously we went with a low deposit, so you had the high interest rate, but fuck, it was hard.
Oh yeah.
That's something that we can't control.
Yeah.
That's
Beyond.
Yeah.
Not your fault.
yeah.
Nah. Well, if you didn't fucking buy all that furniture in the first place, had more deposit, and we would have got a different scenario. Look, I'm just gonna bring it up. Nick just took fucking stabs at this bloke. No, but like at the end of the day, with the circumstances you guys had to be able to get approved with only fucking $4,500 deposit back then, like fucking laughing.
Yeah.
Struggles are real, but we got there in the end. Thank fuck. And very quickly, I reckon, like compared to obviously so much that was happening around there, we got there as quickly as we could, without really sacrificing on the quality of the build either. Like having to come in and have so much shit fucked out. You're always going to have small little things like what you guys have had, and we went through it all together. But at the end of the day, I think overall it was pretty fucking gangster.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone's looking at me.
Well, actually, the other thing that was actually very first, because like everything was your slab
Slab
signing.
signing. I was gonna
guys
bring
were
that
the-
up.
Willy.
Yeah, you set the
I
trend.
started the Willy.
Yeah, and then I almost you almost ruined it for everyone else.
You started the dicks, and then everyone continued the dicks, and then because you started the dicks and everyone continued the dicks, slab signings were almost canned.
Completely, yeah, because obviously like the business and all that. So yeah, Levite designer came back and is like, "Come on, man, calm the
No
fuck
more.
down with that.
No
No
more."
more.
They
No
were
more."
family appropriate. There was a smiley face. You need to
beg
insert a picture.
I think quite a few people would beg to differ, but I totally understand where that comes from.
It was a little fun little
Yeah,
willy.
it's a little fun,
Yeah.
really one. That's all right.
It's
But,
everyone else that took it to
Yeah,
extremes.
look, some people took it fucking extreme.
Yeah.
Which it always happens. Someone has to take shit to be on, but that's all right. We're still doing it, just no more dicks anymore.
Was there, aside from the site supervisor change, was there anything that you didn't like about your process? Anything that we did, anything that Levita did, anything overall that you didn't like?
I think overall it was all really
All good.
All up, yeah, all good, all up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just the communication towards the end, which
Yeah.
I found, like
Yeah.
for me, communication is key.
100%.
So getting nowhere when I send an email, it's like,
It was getting
annoying.
hard.
what's the go?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck's going on?
But
Especially because that tail end is the most exciting part when you can
Yeah.
just see it. It's like it's so tangible and you're like, when is this happening?
yeah,
The biggest thing I found that was such an issue was the fact that by the time you guys picked up the keys, we weren't in Perth. We were on our honeymoon in Egypt, and it was so hard. Like, obviously, whenever you guys emailed, we could fucking figure it out, but we didn't realize that they had timed so that you'd pick up the keys when we're not there, so we couldn't actually be there for your actual handover. And you guys were the first client with Levita, which that was fucking gut wrenching on
That
our side.
hurt.
That fucking hurt, and that's why as soon as we got back, we're like, bro, we're fucking coming over. Like
Yeah.
everything's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're coming. But yeah, that was a bit of a from my side, I reckon. That was a
Yeah,
bit,
that definitely hurt a little bit. But I can't ask people to wait for an
No,
extra week
no,
and a half or
no.
2 weeks for
No,
us to be back.
No, that's selfish from our side. But at the same time,
If it
it's
was-
one of those things where we go twice a year. That is our time to go away. But
If it was a couple of days, like if the handover wasn't a Monday and we asked you to wait till a Thursday, like
Yeah.
I'd ask that. Like
yeah.
I'd ask
well,
that.
not 2 weeks.
But not
No,
2 weeks.
no,
Like that's a lot. That's
Especially
a lot of
with a
extra waiting
mortgage
time.
and everything else that
Yeah.
you're paying, it gets a bit.
And for a site supervisor, that's still a house that they have to
Huge.
look after,
Yep.
that they still have to check up on, make sure that everything is still locked up, nothing's been stolen, nothing's been damaged. So from a builder's point of view, it's not worth holding on for another 2 weeks either.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. We still came, we still did a
Yeah.
handover, and
Yes.
you still kept the bow, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I did. Because the timing was just so perfect. I started my new job on the Tuesday. We moved in on the Saturday. And for some miracle, we were able to get all furniture delivered on the Saturday.
Wow.
It was like a last minute, I think the Friday maybe, Tom was like, hey, do you reckon you guys could like deliver tomorrow? And technically we're country, so the
Yes.
deliveries are really weird.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh, we only do like a Wednesday and a Monday. And then everyone rocked up on the Saturday
Fucking
and we had a whole
laughing.
house on the Saturday. It was
Living
the dream,
insane.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
a win because
Yeah.
otherwise that's a shit show trying to organise around,
Most
especially
people-
with a new job as well. Fuck.
Most people have pizza on the floor on the first night, have a little picnic inside.
Yep.
Because you can't cook, you don't have your frying pan, you don't know
Yeah.
where
Nah.
your cups and bowls are,
Nah.
so it's pizza on the floor.
Yeah.
No.
We were all set up like within the first day. Like
Yeah.
as soon as we had handover, I had my mate come in and change all the bayonets to like
Yes.
Yeah.
To
the
downlights. Yeah.
Just
perfect.
like literally an hour after handover.
Yeah.
It's like,
Perfect.
Get in there,
Fucking
get shit done.
Get it going.
So-
Get it going.
And you guys did a really, like, you had really good colour choices.
That's gonna be obviously that was all Cecil.
Well,
But
you don't know.
Fuck all him.
You don't
Fuck all
know.
him.
So I guess my question is there anything that you could, for clients that are listening to the pod that are thinking about jumping on, that are thinking about signing up, or clients that have already signed up but just haven't done their pre-start yet, what are some tips, tricks and advice that you could give them to think about before going to pre-start?
Probably
think-
have
yeah.
an idea of what you want.
Yeah.
house
That's a
first.
good.
Okay.
That's a good start.
It's a good place.
Like, if you want mix and match, then go for it. But for us, I think we wanted to have the same, like, sort of,
Uniform colour
yeah. So
or
we,
uniform feel, I should
Like
say.
the flow continuing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think, what would you call it, like a.
We went very
earthy-
neutral, but the point
Yes.
of being neutral is you can do whatever the fuck you want.
100%.
And I guess that's like the easiest way for anyone to do their
It's
pre-start.
safer
is-
as well without
Yeah,
being
super
too
safe.
bold. Having like blue cabinets or some shit like that. It's you can keep it with the whites, blacks, greys, neutrals, some warmer tones on your fucking cabinets and stuff because you know they work consistently.
I've
So
seen blue cabinets and blue feature tiles in the kitchen, and they're beautiful.
again, yes, I look at it and go, fuck no. Like I just, do you
It's
know what I
not
mean?
for you. You
it's
don't
not
like
for
a
me.
feature home. You like the feature
100%.
furniture.
Like, mind you though, I reckon I'll be pretty keen to have a fucking completely blacked out theatre though. Black ceilings,
Yeah.
black
Yeah.
walls.
You have to.
That will look gangster. Whereas a lot of people might sit there and go, "Oh no, that's too dark." Fuck you, man. Like who watches on a white wall like for a cinema? Like, do you know what I mean? Like you go to a cinema, it's all black.
Yeah.
It's not white.
well, it's technically
Yeah.
red. The curtains are red.
Yeah, but the front, the back, where it's
Just
actually
saying.
projecting,
I'm
it's
just
black.
She
Julia,
has a point.
Julia,
Just saying.
I'm going to mute your mic in a minute.
I'll go fuck
I'm
myself.
yeah, fucking oath you will. So, but
Any,
yeah.
any other tips or tricks
Um,
or things to consider? I guess. If not, that's okay.
Probably budget as well.
Okay.
Like,
Stick
obviously,
to your budget.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
so-
know, like, your price range of certain things and you know what it's going to cost and obviously the markup with
Yes.
like companies and stuff.
Yes.
I guess we actually
Well,
haven't.
that's what we did with the
done-
lighting. Like that's what I was saying. Like rather than doing LED downlights with the builder, no, like nothing against them. It's across the board with all the builders. It's stick to whatever you've got already included. Set it up with a Sparky or something so that you can make the changes afterwards. But do it afterwards because you're gonna save yourself like a third of the cost, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like your house is never gonna be 100% finished when you move in. That's just the reality of how it is. So why not actually control it and go, I've got enough that I'm pretty comfortable to be able to move in and I can do these other jobs with friends or whatever with now I can outsource them, but it's not something that I need tomorrow, otherwise I can't live in the home. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I like get the extra PowerPoints because it might actually be a lot cheaper doing it up front.
Yeah.
But the downlights, you can put bayonets. It's not the end of the world for fuck's sakes if you've got a couple bayonets until you've got enough money to do the full downlights and exactly how you want it. You know, the pendant lights, you want to pay for the pendant lights because they're completely different. And rather than cutting out holes initially in the build, you can just do it exactly what's needed for your setup. Do you know what I mean? Because some of those pendant lights, people go, oh, I'll just fucking drill holes into them. It'll be fine. Some of them are just like a cord and then they hang out, whereas other ones are like a whole base, which is fine because you can cover it up. So those are the things I don't think people really think about. So it's just like, you know what? Do what you can, what you need. Sometimes some of the wants you can do it over time. But like, you know, a big one of us was like, you got to have aircon, you got to have all that shit. Like, there are many builders and building brokers sitting there going, it's okay, you can do without aircon, do that. Fuck off, man. No
You live
way.
in Australia.
Yeah.
With us, no thank you.
You live in Australia. You need an aircon.
And look, there are, like, I know Levita can offer those options and stuff. I fucking refuse. I refuse every single person unless they have something already organized and they're going to do it within a certain time frame. I refuse it literally because of our own experience and how much we had to struggle.
Yeah,
like
we
that.
sweated through the
Fucking
first
oath.
summer.
And we had fucking Alaskan Malamute, Cross Husky, and the German Shepherd. It was
Yeah.
fucked. In peak summer heat, it was fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had fans on the dogs
Yeah,
and
man.
pools and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Very wild.
And we haven't done a episode on pre-start. We probably should start looking at
Yeah, we'll
recording
probably
one.
we'll probably suss it
because
out.
A lot of people don't realise that pre-start can cost you extra if you choose the upgraded items.
100%.
And I don't think we've ever mentioned that anywhere, so that's a good
No, we
point.
have. It's like
we?
when you start choosing outside of the standards, it is an upgrade. As to what those costs are, Levita is pretty good because on the portal stuff, it actually shows some of the costs up front. It doesn't show everything because obviously you can change so many things, but it gives you at least a bit of an idea what you're in for. And then when you go into pre-start, I'll give you a full breakdown and then you can actually go through it all. But another thing I'll probably ask, because you've been asking for like colours and shit, Julie, would actually be for clients that were in a position like yourselves as first home buyers or even second home buyers, what tips and tricks would you recommend, or when should people start looking at reaching out if they were considering, because you guys have, you know, you first started with looking at established and then
Other builders.
not going to do anything, then other builders. What advice can you give to people now that you've gone through it, you've finished it, you're in the home? What would you tell your younger versions of yourselves?
I think I would have reached out to you sooner, only because even if we weren't ready yet, you still would have been able to go, okay, so when you are ready, this is what we're going to look at, or this is what I need from you, or if this is what you want, this is how you need to prepare yourself to make that happen, instead of, I guess, not that it's your fault, but we came in and we were like, yeah, we want this, it's going to be so good. And it's like, well, humble yourself a little bit, because it's not as simple or as easy as that. And I think it sometimes seems like it's so straightforward. It's so easy. You just walk in and you get what you want and you just pay for it and it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's not just
There's a
that
lot more
straightforward.
to it. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a really good one, because at the end of the day, it tends to put that reality check back in, going, okay, cool, there is quite a bit more into this, rather than just the perfect saying I like to say, and I'm pretty sure I've said it to you guys as well, when things get tough, right? If it was easy, everyone would fucking build. It's that simple.
Yeah.
There is a reason why it's not. It is rewarding when it gets done right.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's not easy. There are many people that will make this sound like it's a breeze in the fucking park. Look, we can make this as smooth as possible, but let's just be real about this shit. There's a lot of money on the line. This shit is scary. It's daunting. So let's fucking be real and not piss fart around. You know, like, let's take it serious, but at the same time, enjoy the process as we go. And I think 100% you're right with that. It's getting that info sooner, then the ball's in your court. Whether you do it now, you do it in 3 months, you can adjust it, whatever, but at least you know you've had that discussion, you know where you're at. 100%. I like that. I like that as a
tidbit for
yeah,
any
100%.
listener.
Well, at the end of the day, it comes back to me because they refer to me. No, look, to be done honest, I look at how our own build when we did it. Same thing, man. If they just told us straight up what we can or can't do, then we would have been able to work that scenario out, and it would have been good, because, you know, the scenario when you guys would have first considered looking into homes back then, you might have actually been able to borrow a bit more because the interest rate started ramping up. So then your borrowing was decreasing by the time we actually started it near towards the end of the year. So yeah, it's very interesting times and how things can be approached.
Yeah.
My last question that I have is the $1 million question. Would you guys build again?
Yes.
Yes?
Absolutely. We're already thinking about it. We're already
Yeah,
like,
fuck
okay.
yes.
The experience was so good, we're ready again.
Yeah.
What would you do the next time? Like, as a very rough hypothetical, would you stay around where you are now? Would you want to look at going something more closer now? Something bigger? What's the goal?
Obviously, bigger is better,
Absolutely.
but it costs more money.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think we're looking at heading back down, like to where we were originally in
Yes.
Baldivis. But
Yes.
we're wanting bigger land.
Yeah.
So more land.
Yes.
So staying down south is obviously beneficial for that.
Yep.
But yeah, bigger house,
Yeah.
more fancy stuff.
Just more.
I personally feel very converted to the country lifestyle.
Yeah.
So,
It's a lot more chilled out, a
yeah,
lot more quieter.
it's just,
Yeah.
there's cows. They just wake you up and
Yeah, you wake
smell
up
their
and-
shit and it's like,
Yep.
oh,
Yep.
time to get up.
Welcome to the countryside.
Welcome to Ravenswood.
You wake up, no.
Can you imagine
Pretty
that?
much.
You're trying to wake. I'm like, why the fuck is there mewing out the front, out this fucking back? And you just see this fucking cows going, moo.
Nick, your mind works different. You're different.
Fucking oath, that's how I think of it.
You fucking cow.
Wow. Fucking moo.
Is there anything else you guys would like to add to the pod, say to the listeners, whatever it is?
Build through Mr. Enthusiast.
Crickets.
My man. What a legend. Nah, Bill through Mr. E. That's the only way.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you guys would like to plug before we plug Mr. Enthusiast?
Any shout outs of anything, or is there any, was there anything overall that maybe we could have done better from our side during?
I think we mentioned when we caught up,
Yeah.
when you guys got back, it was like we wanted, obviously everyone wants to see you more, but we mentioned we mentioned like some kind of catch up before we moved
that's
in,
right.
when
Yeah.
the at lockup doing some kind of
yes.
catch up and walk around and be like, so what are you planning with this room and what are you thinking for that, and like I don't know,
Yeah.
that would have been so good.
100%, even because obviously we've got keys, and I think it's definitely something we're trying to see where we can try and implement it. Maybe we'll look into it. We have reached out to quite a few people and done it. I think it might be something that's, and I'll put this on the podcast, I don't give a fuck. We'll probably start doing into an email with clients and going, if you guys really want to, try and catch up with us after lockup, because obviously you'll be locked out half the time and you really want to see us, we're doing it on Tuesdays, see if that works for people, because a lot of them obviously FIFO, so they might have that time, and try and organise somewhere with there, because as you can imagine, we've got we're in August 2023, and we've got over 70 something in construction, and then there's another 50 odd in administration slowly moving, and we've got a lot of handovers in the next couple of months, so it will get hard to do 70 additional meet points on top when they're spread out across the entire Perth.
It's very difficult to do, and we after
Because you have to
meeting,
do it with me.
Yeah.
You can't just do it with I don't want to go and hire some other random fuck and then
Yeah.
you guys want it with us. Yeah.
It's something I did trial with a couple of clients, and it was very difficult to find time when they were available. And then I would kind of say, okay, we're going to be on our construction run, and they said we can't do Tuesdays. Can you do Saturdays? So then I'd kind of go to Nick, can you do Saturdays? And it's like, yeah, not really, because driving
That's the
down.
meetings for everyone
Yeah.
to
That's
come
when
catch up.
everyone schedules in to meet up with me. And as much as I want to serve my existing clients, I can't necessarily take 3.5 hours out of my day to meet them on site just so they can see the house at lockup. We already do the construction run. We take the photos as best as possible. If they can meet us on the construction run, it's not taking away from new appointment times when Nick is trying to do everything else in between. Doing those kind of meetings on a Saturday or a Sunday,
That's hard.
It takes so much extra time. It's not like we live very close to everyone. We're north, so the south is a good hour's drive, if not longer.
It's an hour and a half
And-
to your place.
Even
It's worth it.
the north,
100%. See you guys, 100%.
even the coastal northies, they're still a 45-minute drive for us. So factor in a drive there, a drive back, plus the amount of time that we spend with a client, which is anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. It's a lot of time that is not available for Nick to be in the office. So then like those weekends are not really available for client meetups. That's really what we reserve for slab signings and handovers. So then
but we are doing on and off. I think there's very minimal that might really want to request it, because a lot of them might be going like every day because it's nearby home. So, and then some of the FIFO guys that we've mentioned it to, they're like, bro, it's all J, like, because they're doing 2-in-1s and 3-in-1s, our updates are actually giving them enough on top of what they're getting with Levita as well. So like with Levita, for example, with most of the builds, because they do their own updates as well. So they're getting enough communication to see there. But we're always changing things. We're always adjusting. If someone does need them, we do have that spare day. Fucking days. Yeah. Happy days.
You also need like time to live your own lives and to relax.
I'm still trying to find
downtime.
where that is. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Eventually. I'm still digging for that free time. I haven't struck gold yet. I haven't struck free time.
Join the club, mate. Join the club. No, we'll get there. Yeah. But
yeah, so nothing to plug or nothing to shout out?
This is not a plug or a shout out, but I think that maybe you could try and arrange another Ravenswood party.
We can try.
Well, actually, I think there's quite a few more going to be handing over in the next month. So I don't know if it's going to be September or maybe when we get back, we can start looking at something.
October, November, we'll try.
October, November, I'll potentially try again, just because of the fact that now quite a few more have everyone's moved in now. A few like yourselves have changed jobs as well. So situations that didn't work the first time when we did the catch up might work now. So we might put something towards it.
They'll be your neighbours. Start knocking on doors and start forcing some time.
Yeah, start forcing and be like, figure out when most people are normally there. Then we'll try and do it, and then we'll do a big fucking basically tour de fridge, Ravenswood style.
Tour de fridge.
Yeah, just jump through every fucking house. Bro, I'm gonna be pissed as fuck. I'm gonna have to crash it. No, we're gonna have to crash at one of the houses we built.
Well, you know what? Everyone's got a 4x2 or a 3x2. They've got plenty of rooms.
Got plenty of room. Done.
I've seen the couches that people have. They look lush.
Fucking ask Jared about his couches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Big dollars.
So let's plug Mr Enthusiast.
Yep.
You
Cool.
can find us on
Facebook, Insta, TikTok, Google, websites, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
Nice. And guys, don't forget to leave a rating or a review if you can. That really helps us in the back end. And just remember, guys,
we're not here
to fuck spiders.
Back to the ASMR.
Thank you so much for watching. If you would like me to come back
Nah, you lost it.
You lost it now.
Fucked it.
just ignore that moment. It was a moment of weakness. You can hear my voice shaking.
Yeah. And this is how we're gonna end it.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.